Olufemi Oluyede vows Bello Turji would be eliminated during visit to Zamfara State. On the foreign scene, Israel receives the bodies of 4 hostages held by Hamas in Gaza. Good evening. This is news at 7 on West Spring Television. My name is Tomilola Daniel. The 32 years after his controversial annulment of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, Nigeria's former head of state, Ibrahim Babangida, admitted for the first time that the late philanthropist Moshood Hashimawo Olawale MKO Abiola won the election. The startling revelation was contained in Babangida's 420-page memoir titled A Journey in Service, an autobiography of Ibrahim Babangida, which was launched in Abuja today with continental and national dignitaries in attendance. The book reviewer, former Vice President Yemi Oshibajo, said the evil genius said Maradona, as Babangida was nicknamed, answered the question as to whether Abiola won the June 12 election or not in his book. In his remarks, Babangida shared an insight as to why he annulled the June 12 election, noting that he acted to protect the country's interests.
Undoubtedly, credible, free and fair elections were held on June 12, 1993. However, the tragic irony of history remains that the administration that devised a near-perfect electoral system and conducted those near-perfect elections could not complete the process. That accident of history is most regrettable. The nation is entitled to expect my impression of regret. As the leader of the military administration, I accept full responsibility for all decisions taken under my watch. And June 12 happened under my watch. Mistakes, oversights, and missteps happen in quick succession. But I say in my book, in all matters we acted in the supreme national interest so that Nigeria could survive. Our nation's march to democracy was interrupted, a fact that I deeply regret, but Nigeria survived and democracy is still alive, a testament to our resilience and commitment to progress.
Speaking at a Bunko lunch, President Bola Tinubu recalled how he confronted Babangida for always postponing the inauguration after winning the election. He said he feared he would be imprisoned for confronting the then head of state. The president also hailed the former head of state for his contributions to national building, narrating how Babangida inspired him in politics. On his part, former President Goodluck Jonathan hailed the ex-military president over the launch of his memoir and believes Nigeria's history is incomplete without the former's story. According to him, with the launch of the book, the former head president has contributed immensely to the documentation of the country's history.
When I was summoned by Daily Cole to make a remark, I confronted you. That you had an opportunity to make history that day, and you failed to do it. Why not inaugurate us? Why are you calling us back and postponing the inauguration day? They thought I will end up in jail. You came out right at the end of the remark. You shook me. I can't forget that picture. You said, you are courageous. That's an inspiration that is so impactful in my own life. Just for what you are. The few hours of sent to set a day like this, put it together for you. You deserve it.
To the National Assembly, tensions flared during today's plenary in the Senate. The dispute over seating arrangement led to a heated exchange between Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and the chamber's leadership. The controversy began when Senator Natasha's seat was relocated upon resumption of the session, but she refused to comply with the change. The chief whip, Senator Tahir Monguno, explained that the changes were necessary to accommodate shift cast by some opposition members moving to the majority wing. The changes, he argued, are within the constitutional prerogative of the Senate President. Senator Monguno emphasized that failure to comply with the new arrangement could lead to penalties, including the possibility of being barred from participating in discussions on the floor. Opposing this position, Senate President Godswill Akpabio ruled in favor of the order. However, when Senator Natasha raised her hand to speak, she was denied as she was not in a newly assigned seat. Refusing to back down, Senator Natasha raised her voice in protest, directly confronting the Senate President. The standoff added an unexpected layer of drama and tension during the plenary. The Senate President even ordered the Sergeant of At-Arms to walk her out, but after the intervention from various lawmakers, calm was restored, but she declined to move.
Order, please.
Dismiss Senator Natasha, please. You are not recognized to speak from there. That is the order of the Senate.
Sir, order 10 on privileges. Order 10 on privileges.
Senator Natasha.
Any senator may rise at any time to speak upon a matter of privilege suddenly arising, and he shall be prepared to move without notice. A motion declaring that the content of breach of privilege has been
suspension immediately.
In the Green Chamber, the House of Representatives has rejected a bill seeking to return the headquarters of the Federal Institute of Industrial Research, FIRO, Oshodi, back to Lagos. The headquarters of the agency, which has operated in Lagos for over 60 years, was relocated to Abuja through the Federal Institute of Industrial Research Act 2023, which also established offices of the agency in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Moving a motion for the consideration of the bill, the lead sponsor, Honorable Bayinka Moses Oluwatoyin, argued that the institute, having operated in Lagos for several years, has state-of-the-art equipment in Lagos which cannot be moved from the city. He said while it is ideal to have the institute operate regional offices in the 6 zones, it was unhealthy to move the headquarters of the institute from Lagos. Honorable Ademori Uye, APC Lagos, who argued in support of the bill, said that headquarters should be allowed to remain in Lagos because it is closer to the majority of the industry, whose personnel it is supposed to train. Both former Deputy Speaker Ahmed Idris Wasa and Minority Whip of the House, Ali Issa, spoke about the bill, saying national interest should be allowed to prevail and not be about further controversies. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of Dr. Xavier Nkiakere as the chairman of the National Assembly Service Commission, NASC. This was contained in a statement issued by Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, on Thursday. Dr. Nkiakere, an environmental specialist and former Deputy Chief of Staff to the Senate President, will serve a 5-year renewable term. In condition to the chairman's appointment, President Tinubu also approved the selection of 12 commission members, with 2 representatives drawn from each of Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones. Like the chairman, the newly appointed members will serve for a renewable term of 5 years. To security matters, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has reiterated troops' commitment to securing Zamfara State, vowing that notorious bandit leader Bello Turji would soon be eliminated. General Oluyede made this known in Gusau, the Zamfara State capital, while briefing journalists at the headquarters of Operation Hassan Yama. He said the wanted terrorist has been on the run and should keep running, noting that it was just a matter of time before he would be removed from the space. He noted that troops are working hard to improve the security situation as well as secure lives and properties safe. General Oluyede also called on Nigerians to cooperate with the army and other security agencies by availing troops of timely information. The Army Chief's visit to Gusau this morning is his first since his appointment on the 30th of October and comes at a time when troops are battling banditry and other security threats in the northwest region.
It's the same thing with the fight against the bandits there. In the last few months, we killed very prominent bandit leaders like Samala Boka, the likes of Boderi. All those ones are dead. And as we speak, we're still pursuing them and to see how we can make the entire Northwest very safe. Of course, the challenges are always there, but I want to make it known to all that security is everybody's business. So we expect the populace to support us, give us information so that we can do our jobs better. For as long as we do that, even our enemies, our collective enemies, will leave a space for us so that we can have space for development.
Here in Osun State, leaders of mainline churches have condemned the killings and destruction of property that has greeted the struggle for the control of local government administration in the state. They therefore called for the return of peace and solidarity in the state, saying residents of the state have been living in severe panic since politicians unleashed mayhem on the state on Monday. The church leaders under the umbrella of Conference of the Heads of the Mainline churches in Osogbo are the bishops of the Catholic Diocese of Osogbo, the Anglican Diocese of Osun, the Methodist Diocese of Osogbo, the Osun Central Diocese of African Church, and the president of the Osun Baptist Conference. Addressing a news conference today, the Catholic Bishop of Osogbo Diocese, Most Reverend John Oyejola, who chairs the conference, commended the Osun State Independent Electoral Commission on preparation for Saturday's local government election in the state, adding that care must be taken for it not to be tagged as the bloodiest local government election in the state. The Bishop Oyejola called on President Bola Tinubu not to take sides amid the crisis in the state, urging him to ensure lasting peace in the state. In the court, the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has adjourned the March 25th when it would consider applications seeking to adjourn indefinitely proceedings in the case of an alleged $225.8 million debt owed First Bank Nigeria Limited and FBN Quest Prostate Limited by an oil and gas company, General Hydrocarbons Limited, GHL. Justice Dende Dikolu fixed the date after listening to the submissions of parties who told the court that they had appealed the last ruling, which set aside the export order freezing the asset and account of General Hydrocarbons Limited. The ruling of the court delivered on the 29th of January had elicited different interpretations from parties in the suit. It eventually culminated in the appeals. While First Bank appealed against the discharge of Mereva order against Global Hydrocarbons and also applied for an injunction or suspension of the order pending the determination of the appeal. The GHL asked the Court of Appeal for an order striking out or dismissing First Bank's suit for lack of jurisdiction. Meanwhile, controversial Nigerian singer Habib Okikiola, popularly known as Portable, has been granted bail by the Sabo Magistrate Court in Abeokuta following his arraignment on charges of assault and obstruction of government officials. Portable, who had earlier surrendered himself to the Lagos State Police Criminal Investigations Department on Wednesday after being declared wanted by Osun State Command, was transferred to the Osun State Police Headquarters before being arraigned in court today. The singer faced a 5-count charge including conspiracy, assault, restriction, armed with dangerous weapons, and conduct likely to cause harm. He pleaded not guilty to all charges. His counsel, Oluwatoyin Ayodele, pleaded for bail, as shown the court for Portable. The Portable is now remorseful and has learned his lessons. Magistrate O.L. Oke granted the singer bail in the sum of 2 million naira, with one shorty in like sum, that adjourned the case until 5th of March for trial. Alongside Portable, 9 of his aides were also arraigned on similar charges. Elsewhere, the federal government has terminated the 98-kilometer Oyo-Ogbomoso road contract awarded to RCC Construction Company. The Minister of Works, Engineer Dave Umahi, disclosed this on Wednesday at the Oyo Federal Road Stakeholders Engagement in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The minister stated that the project was long overdue, but assured the public that it would soon be rewarded to another contractor. According to stakeholders, the failure to complete the road on time has hindered economic growth, not only in the area, but across Oyo State as a whole. We are watching News at 7 on Western Spring Television. Still to come, Vice President Kashim Shettima presides over National Economic Council meeting. We'll bring you more on this when we... You're welcome back. This is the News at 7 on Western Spring Television. A reminder of our headlines. A former Nigerian head of state, Ibrahim Babangida, makes U-turn 32 years after admits MQ Abiola won June 12 election. The drama unfold in Senate plenary over seating arrangement. Army Chief General Olufemi Oluyede vows Bello Turji would be eliminated during visit to Zamfara State. On the foreign scene, Israel receives the bodies of 4 hostages held by Hamas in Gaza. Vice President Kashim Shettima presided over the National Economic Council NEC meeting at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Discussions on the establishment of state police taking center stage. The council, which comprises state governors, the governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and the Minister of Finance, is expected to make key decisions on economic and security matters affecting the nation. A major highlight of today's meeting is the long-awaited deliberation on state police. The NEC had previously received submissions from all 36 states on the matter, with initial discussion suspected in January 2025. The issue was sparked as part of national debate, with advocates arguing that decentralizing policing would enhance security at the grassroots level, while opponents raised concerns over potential abuse by state government. Moving on, the Imo House of Assembly has recalled 4 members suspended in July 2024 for allegedly plotting to impeach the Speaker, Chike Olemgbe. The members are Dominic Ezurioa, APC, Oru West, Samuel Otuibe, APC, Chidiebere Ogunipa, and Henry Abasono, APC. The members were recalled after the consideration of a report of the House Committee on Ethics and Privileges set up to investigate the allegation. The report, which was considered at a committee of the whole House, stated that the members were invited by the committee during the investigation. It also stated that the 4 legislators showed remorse and pleaded for leniency and requested that they be recalled, promising to be of good conduct. The report was adopted following a motion by Honorable Chisom Ojukwu, seconded by Honorable